two, one. What is up, Purple Haze Nation? Welcome to the third episode of Purple Haze at Night. I go by the name of Vante Poems alongside my co-host.
My name is Julius, Jew Black.
Hey, what's going on? It's Ivan.
What's up, guys? It's Tabo. Top busy
Hey.
on Instagram. Follow me.
You already should know their links, their Instagram is either on this side or that side. You know, y'all already should know. Yeah, that side. Today's topic we feel is very well needed. What is systemic racism? Well, guess what? I'm about to tell you. We is about to tell you. Systemic racism occurs when an institution or a set of institutions working together creates or maintains racial inequity. This can be unintentional, and it doesn't necessarily mean that people within an organization is racist. It doesn't always mean that. It can be the result of doing things the way they've always been done without considering how they impact particular groups differently. Now, race is only one aspect of privilege. There's religion, gender, sexuality, ability status, socioeconomic status, language, and citizenship status can all affect your level of privilege. So next time someone's making jokes at work, call them out. Call out racist jokes or statements. Let people know that racist comments are not okay. I'm sorry. That joke does not make sense to me. Can you explain? Do not be afraid to engage in conversations with loved ones, co-workers, friends, because microaggressions can be forms of racist jokes or statements. Yo, Juels.
Yo.
Jules B3. What has systemic racism affect your life, and what can you do to change it in your life and for others?
All right. Dang, man. It's hot out here in Utica. Saw that? That's crazy. But
Can't make that up right there.
exactly, that's live. I would say for my family and for me, we started, I would say, lower class, and we worked our way up to middle class.
Okay.
I would say that I don't think it has affected me too much, but a little bit with jobs. Sometimes it seemed like it took a long time for me to get noticed, but my credentials and of course the blessings of God and knowing someone that was in that facility got me the job opportunity that I am as an engineer. What are ways that I feel like I could continue to exit out of this systematic racism?
Mm-hmm.
There's financially, there's many different ways, but financially speaking, I just feel like I have to be able to make smart choices. Like, I am young and I want to travel. That's one of my favorite hobbies, is to travel. But I gotta be smart and think, okay, for my future family, I want to put them in position to where, they don't have to go through what I went through. I didn't go through hard times, but there was still I had to pretty much pay for my own car. I want to be able to buy my kid their first car,
Wow.
And just little things like that. Try to incorporate them to where diversity is key. Like, I don't want them to be only surrounded by the other race, because I feel like, especially the way we grew up, we were in a diverse setting, and I think that helped us to where we are today. And then we're gonna teach you have Vante, but the rest of us, our future kids. So,
before we move on from what you just said, I want to tackle what you just said. And you're a black man. You said you had to pay off your own car. Come on. Let them people know what you do for a living, bro.
Right now, I am a civil engineer If
Let's
anybody
go.
doesn't know what civil engineering is, it deals with roads, bridges. I am a designer, so I design
Hey,
the
Oh, Julius the designer. Okay, I feel that,
yeah,
bro.
sir.
yes, sir.
Eben, how you feeling over there, bro?
Good, good, good. How you feeling, bro?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. It's purple haze at night, baby. Tabo, you got the hair out today.
Yeah, bro. Just got the shower.
I feel you. Yo,
Yeah.
Eben,
Yo,
you're a black man working, right?
yeah.
Tell the people what you do for a living.
So I'm a sessioner. I can't really get into details of what the company I work for, because that's illegal. But so basically, I get DNA samples, just his blood, urine, things like that, and we just match patient name with the specimen tubes.
This something you went to school for?
Nah, nah, nah. It's an entry level job, but you gotta have some experience. Well, you gotta have like a science background. You know?
So working in that type of environment, do you witness any type of not just racism but systemic racism?
Nah, not at work. Not at work.
Have you ever witnessed systemic racism?
Yeah, I mean it's all around me. You feel me? Like growing
Right.
up, like being an American male. I grew up in poverty. I was in Cornhill. You feel me? Like I seen that. I seen the effects firsthand. You feel me? So yeah, I know a lot of people.
Utica is not easy to grow up in, right, Tabo?
Nah, it's different for me too, because like I came in, like I told you earlier, I came into America when I was 4 years old. I wasn't born here, but we didn't just come in and, grew up in the suburb. You know what I'm saying? Like we had no money. It was 7 kids, right? Taco, Kafla, Tabay, all, bro, most of my siblings. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. Come on.
That's a big ass family. Imagine that with two parents, right? So
Facts.
we came to America and we was broke, bro. And so it was very hard for us too. But honestly, I think what really helped me is like being in extracurricular activities such as Thea Bowman.
Mm,
I was in Thea Bowman for the longest since like middle school, right? From like 4 years
facts.
old to like 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? That's my childhood life. So the
That's
people
me
who
too,
I grew up,
bro.
that's what I'm saying. The people who I grew up in Thea Bowman are literally my childhood friends. You know what I'm saying? They're still close to me today. But
Yeah, I
thank
think
God.
I think Theo Bowman saved us in a lot of situations. Like when people got home from school, they had nothing else to do. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We was in Theo Bowman living it up.
Yeah, we was getting disciplined, having fun, playing foosball.
Being
Shit.
adventurous.
Man, this man just
Going
said
different places, all that.
Low Aco in the chat box on YouTube said Utica is the 13th most dangerous city in New York. Saw it on the news. Um, which it,
Mhm.
you got? Yeah, guys have any comments?
Yeah, it's getting better. I think it's getting better, to be honest.
It's getting better. To be honest, I don't think it's that bad.
You don't even live in the hood, bro.
Oh my
Yo,
gosh.
You
Julius,
be in
talk
the
about that,
hood.
bro. Talk
Mhm.
about that. You didn't talk
You
about that
be
that
in the
much.
hood, but you not in the hood.
Yeah, you're not in the hood.
All
Talk
Hey,
right.
about growing up in Gray
Just
Ave,
Eben,
because
bro.
Eben,
see, this is
Eben
the
was
point I can make.
Eben was right there
Okay.
in Oneida.
Just
He watched
because
everything happen.
I live in a different neighborhood
Julius, what's your street
doesn't
called?
mean that I don't experience systematic racism. It's just we started from the bottom. Now we here. Like
Facts.
Julius,
Yo, you
Julius,
used to
what's
live
your
in
race
West
called?
Utica, right?
I used to live in the west side. Then the north side is considered rich, and we wasn't rich. We were just middle class. And now I'm on the east side, which the east side, some parts of the east side is rough, and some are good. I'm on the good side.
You live in Frankfurt, right?
No, I don't.
Bro, if your street is called Boulevard or like Way, bro, then you're in a nice area.
It's East Park Road. Oh,
See?
I'm tripping.
East
This
Park
dude
Road.
said East Park Road. He be watching deers. He gotta wait. They be at the crosswalk,
I don't
pressing the
want people trying
crosswalk
to look
button.
up my address. Feel me? So
Dang, why did you just say that?
I know. I don't know. It just came out, bro.
What's good respecting hip hop? Okay, so that brings me back. I always joke with Julius, but you know what? Julius be in the trenches, bruh. Julius is like he be in these streets. Like if you ever need something, he is right there. Do you guys remember growing up in Utica though? Like how it was with the Asians versus the blacks?
Yo, facts. Here, can I tell my story first?
Yes, sir.
So, and I noticed this too, cause like I didn't really notice till like pretty like lately, cause a lot of my friends that I've been talking to, they told me a little about it. But when I was in middle school, it was really bad, I guess. But I went to JFK, and JFK, I feel like it was a lot more Americanized. More people were like, you know, together. You know what I'm saying? Like it was less ignorant, pretty much. But when you go to Donovan at that time, it was like you mix with the West Side kids, the hood kids, and then you mix with a bunch
Right.
of refugees and immigrants, right? And they're all Asian at that time, so it was not a good mix at that time because like they would just get into like fights and fights after fights, and it's like, but me growing up in JFK, it was much more like, or the middle school, it was a lot easier for us because everybody was more, together, you know what I'm saying? I was playing basketball with my teammates and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I was like,
It wasn't as diverse though.
huh?
It wasn't as diverse.
I thought it was pretty diverse though. It was diverse enough. Like there was a lot of my more like white people in JFK, but I feel like it was still diverse.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I think we're all at
Must.
JFK, right?
Nah,
Ibn,
I went to Donovan. My what was it when I first went to middle school, and then I transferred to JFK. So, and I didn't think the tensions between Korean people and black people were that bad. Like
Really, man?
like there was like in Donovan there was like, you had your gangs, but like it wasn't like as like that violent. Like I don't know, like
I'm not
high
even
school is different.
I'm not even talking about middle school or even in the school necessarily.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like just you couldn't walk
bro.
certain like streets in Utica because like a bunch of Asians lived there. Julius, remember that one time we was walking home?
Yep.
I'm walking to Thea Bowman, right? And it was just a crowd. It must have been like one of the last days of school.
Yeah.
And it was a big crowd of blacks. And I don't know, one of my friend's little brothers started picking on this Asian Korean dude. He ran home. Actually, I must say, my friend's little brother, we're not friends no more, obviously, but at the time, he like was punching him and like taking his book bag, just teasing him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he ran home, and this is where the fire department is by Proctor,
Yeah.
if you walk. And then he ran home and he came back with like 30 Korean people. And they was hopping out the bushes. Like 8 people came out of a Ford Focus. It was like real serious. Cops came and like I remember like people were rolling up on Julius and I'm like, yo, he not even like, and I was like, Julius, let's just go, bro. We ain't even like, it ended up going on. Like a cop ended up body slamming um one of the boys on a freaking car. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Damn.
But I don't know if you guys do remember this, but I remember cousins coming to me or hearing stories where you were riding a bike and Asians just went ham.
I feel like both sides is wrong at the time. I mean,
Mm.
because even now they're still beefing. Like some kids, it's like little kids though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like little kids. It's like, and I
Just
feel like
pack.
everybody at one point was beefing. Like it's just like little kids shit. I feel like like middle school, a little bit of high school, but it's like when you grow up, it's like what's the point of this? Like what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I
Right.
remember when I was a kid, like I seen a lot of that shit going on, but I was never a part of it.
Yeah.
I was cool with everybody, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just knew how to talk to everybody and anybody. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like, everybody was cool with me, and that's just how I was. But I feel like as time goes on, as more people grow up, like I feel like that's just like a phase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
That's facts. If you guys don't know, Tabo is Karen. It's a small village in Thailand. Um, I'm not sure if it's a village anymore. I think their
It's not.
whole
Well, I want to say village. It's more a tribe, but like an
tribe.
ethnic group. It's an ethnic group in
It's an
Burma.
ethnic group. Wow, thank you, man.
Uh,
My wife is Korean as well. So are my two daughters. So Tabo is like family as well. So a lot of things that I talk about or he talk about, I can relate to. You know what I mean? So shout out to Bo in the Korean community.
sir.
Um, Ibn,
Yo,
you lived on Oneida,
yeah,
right?
Oneida Square.
yeah.
Oneida Square.
I
There's a
did.
lot of things that went down on Oneida Square. Like,
Shots fired.
Were you ever like nervous living over there? You know, like you're never nervous in your own hood because that's where you live, but like were you like on notice all the time?
Yeah, not all the time, because you become like not immune, but like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like you kind of become desensitized to things. You feel me? But being on
Thanks.
that type of so like as long as I was with a few people I knew, and like like I didn't really feel scared. Like I knew things were around me, but like I wasn't really like scared. You feel me?
Mm.
Went outside, my thing.
Wouldn't it, and let me know if you disagree though, you feel more safer like in your own environment rather than like if a cop would, pull you over or if a cop would walk past, right? Just being a black man.
Yeah, bro. I was gonna say something about that, bro. Like me being a black man, like I'm not like I'm more comfortable with being in my environment than being outside. Like, cause, bro, like America's like its foundation has been kind of like racist towards black folks. So like, if
Mm.
I go out on the country and I'm traveling on the interstate or something and I get pulled over, or on a state route, there could be all like a bunch of people who just are hicks or something like that, rednecks, things like that, who just hate black folks. I can get pulled over by a cop. I can, you know what I mean? Like things are just a little bit more risky. Like in the
Right.
hood, you you can get killed by gang violence. You can get killed, but we all grow up together. Like everybody in the hood to go most likely goes to the same school. Like you kind of know the people. Like I don't know, it's different. It's a different perspective.
And to add on to the fact, if you mind your business, most cases you good.
Yeah, you
Facts.
feel me?
I mean, you're not even stirring up the drama and causing drama.
I
Wow.
feel like I feel like that's what I was doing, bro. I was never in drama, so I never really. That's why I never really beefed with anybody. Like, bro, I was hooping at Stu Ben Park most of the time, and that's how I got close with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Little Asian kid coming out, so it's like,
So bringing all of that together, just growing up in just I would say an unprivileged. Well, yeah, most I would say most of the communities in Utica is economically unprivileged,
yeah,
right? And it doesn't necessarily where you live, except if you live out there with Julius, the
actually,
raccoons and dares.
yo, actually, I want to bring up a story because like I feel kind of guilty. And I don't think I ever told anybody about this story, but I think I was like 8 or 9 years old, so I didn't know much. I didn't know any better, right? But
Mm.
you guys remember the teacher from room 2 with the Nintendo game? It was like black lady. I forgot her name, but her daughter went to T-Bomb too.
Nah,
Fuck, bro. I'm pretty sure I do know her. I just can't remember
Talk
her
about Miss
name.
Evans.
No, it wasn't Miss Evans. Miss Evans was room 8, right? I think it was room 2. It
room
was
two, a
before
black
room 8.
lady.
Yeah, bro.
And she
Yeah.
had a daughter, you said?
Yeah. She had a daughter that goes there too at the one, but I forgot what if she was my age or not. I think she was a little younger though.
Well, continue.
Okay, so this is like, mind you, this is like this was like when I was like 8 years old, right? So I was kind of like, remember how I told you like there was like a lot of prejudice going on at my family, at my household at that time because of like stuff that was going on. Like we was in James Street, the media, right? So especially with the media, like okay, let me explain this first. So when my family first came to America, like we were very prejudiced towards black people, right? Because of what we've seen at the news, like the media, saying like black on black crime. We were seeing that every day, and then we would see, but then we would also see in our own street, like in our own hood, right? Like every day there was like a shooting, bro. Like it was really bad at James Estimo at that time, like Cornhill, and most of them was like black people. And when my mom looked outside, my parents looked outside, like they see that, right? So this prejudice started growing, this ignorance started growing, and then I felt like it kind of like and I didn't even realize at the time, but it kind of like grew onto me. And so this kind of like lead up to the incident in room 2, and I was like 8 years old, bro. And I was cool, bro. Like everybody loved me, right? And I was cool with the teacher. The teacher loved me. I forgot her name though, but I was cool with the teacher. But then like obliviously, and I was ignorant too at the time. I made a racist comment like towards black people, and like I remember the teacher like sat me on the side, and she didn't yell at me, and she was just talking to me like, oh, she was basically educating me on what I said, why I was wrong, and pretty much something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like she was saying, I forgot what she said. She was like, oh, basically what you said was wrong. You know, there you have a lot of like black peers around you. I forgot who, there was like so like almost like Anaya, Taylor, and them, all of them, right? This is like when I was a kid, bro.
He
So
was
they were
trying
just
to
saying
educate
like,
you.
yeah, she basically educated me. She was like, and she didn't yell at me, right? She wasn't mad at me, mind you. Like I was like her favorite student, right? So I was like, I was like this cheerful little kid, and but when I made that comment, it just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, she basically told me why I was wrong, you know, why that was not the right, what not, basically why that's not right, pretty much, and educating me on that. And I feel like that was like old to me, you know what I'm saying? It's like I was like 8 years old, bro, and I said something racist without even knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that just proves that like prejudice and ignorance is like not even like taught, not, I wouldn't say like not her, like it's not it's more like, what's the word, like you're taught it by like an act, but I don't think my
Heredit-
parents would teach us, you know what I'm saying?
like
I feel like it was worse
hereditary.
with a lot of, yeah, it's not hereditary, it's nothing like that, it's more
A
like
product of your
a
environment.
product of your environment. Exactly, product of the environment. And I feel like my incident wasn't as bad to like a lot of those other people, like I'm talking about like white people, where like, you know, where their environment is much more strict. It's like, oh, they're bad, like blah 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 blah, you know what I'm saying? But my incident was more like, oh, they didn't say they're bad, but they're more like we're looking outside and what we see and then what we analyze, and it kind of ran out to me. But the teacher, the lady at room two, kind of educating me on that, and I feel really grateful on that experience. And I was like 8 years old, bro, so I remember this shit like that. You know what
Wow,
I'm saying?
man. Wow. Um, I think we're gonna touch on that pretty soon. I do want to go back to the subject far as systemic racism because
Mhm.
that's what that is. You know, it's not even your parents' fault. You know, that's what they were taught. And, you
Yeah.
know, and then generations to come. And again, like you said, it's what the media would show, right? And at
Mhm.
the same time, you know, you were saying, you know, all the black on black crime. I read something today or yesterday on how there's no even such thing on black crime. You know, it's more
Okay.
so that we're all just in the same proximity.
Yeah,
You know, like
that's
we're
a
all
fact,
in the same
bro.
hood, and
That's a fact.
even that is systemic racism. Because why you think we all here? You know,
That's true, bro. That's
you
so
know,
true.
and that
I
gentrification.
hate I hate when people say like when they bring that up as like a thing to like remove your attention from what's happening with police brutality and all that. Like I hate when people do that. First off,
Yeah, I
like
agree.
every race has war within its own field. You feel me?
Right.
Like throughout history, while in America in particular, you have you have white men fighting over land, gold, and all that other stuff. How come nobody's bringing that up, talking about white on white crime? You feel me? Like that's just another thing to bring to, I feel like, demoralize the black man to like not not have that ambition to change for equality. You feel me? Like I feel like
Yeah.
that's just something to
Facts.
get your your mind on. You feel me?
Exactly, bro. So, what are some of the things that we can do to stop systemic racism before we move on? Because I do want to talk about, you know, music with you, Ibn. I know you're a big hip hop head, but what are some of the things we can stop, you know, or like what Tabo did with the, you know, teacher at the moment, you know?
Um, I just wanna answer that first. Everybody else can y'all can pitch in afterwards. But I just want to say like just keep on pushing. You know, just fighting for what's right. Like protesting, doing all that. More people are gonna become aware. Like first and foremost, we all have the same responsibilities. You know, we all wake up, we all brush our teeth, shower, and get ready for work. You feel me?
Not
Like
everybody do that.
nobody like we're not like we're all basically in the same boat. Like the race and the color, all that should not matter. Like you feel me? Like everything should be based off of individual actions and not everything should not be generalized. That's also what I want to say. Like
I like that.
you know what I mean? Like black people are the minorities in America. Like And so once somebody does bad, it's like, oh wow, like, you know what I mean? Like, but that takes away from all the good black people, like the people who are not in the gang activity, you know what I mean? Like, who wants to better themselves. You feel me? And that just takes away from that. But in America, since there's more whites, that's not really being talked. That's not really the hot topic. We're not in the black people's in the media, like, you know. So it's just, you know what I mean? That's it. I mean, I won't go on a rant.
Nah, I like when you go off like that, Eben. You gotta go off, bro. That's what the people want. They want Eben to go off.
Sunday sermon.
Hashtag Eben go off.
Hashtag sell your 2K.
Hey, hashtag sell your 2K. Hey, I really like we might even change that, hip hop. We might even I really want to go off what Ibn said and hear what you guys have to say, Tabo and Julius. Mm-hmm. If he has had anything to attach to what Ibn just said.
But I was gonna say, I think as far as like the hip hop topic, that this could come into play kind of. Okay, when it comes to hip hop,
right,
or just music in general, they're talking about their pain, their struggle, and a lot of people, a lot of minorities, whether it's Black, Asian, Hispanic, but mainly probably toward the Black audience, they might be going through the same thing. It could either influence them to either do what they did or to become better.
I want to add something to that. With the music thing too, is I feel like a lot of people don't recognize that like a lot of the music that's created, bro, came from like Black culture, and Black culture from like pain, what you said. Like, for example, like jazz music, that's Black people, that's Black music, right? And like, I'm not sure when it was created, but like jazz music turned slowly into like soul music. You know what I'm saying? Soul music slowly turned into like R&B, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Vante, because you know more about music than I do.
Yeah. You forgot blues in there, and
my bad. Well, R&B is like, blues
and
before
jazz.
Yeah, you're right.
But you're right though. You got it right.
So like I feel like this evolution, like the 60s, the 70s, to like the 80s was like soul music, 90s was like R&Bs. You know what I'm saying? And like I love that type of music, right? Like I be listening to that type of shit all that time. So it's like you notice that like in the 60s, a lot of the time with I think it was Neil Armstrong with the jazz music, right? So like that kind of started, like that jazz music, like the saxophones and all that. Like I appreciate that, right? And he's talking about his struggles in a way.
Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
That's an astronaut. Neil Armstrong, an astronaut.
My fault. That's my fault. I was about to say Lance Armstrong.
No, you good. Neil was the first Black astronaut. So either way, you talking facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. A lot of it goes to what we put out there as far as making music. Me, I'm a music artist, content creator myself, and I always make sure what I put out there is I can back it up. And also, if my daughter asks while we're in the car, what does this mean, what does that mean, I need to be able to back it up. I wish I can turn on the radio and say the same thing when artists say certain things that don't make sense, or some of these artists who get paid off of us, Black lives, but then when it's time to speak up, they're not even speaking up.
Elaborate on that.
Name a couple people you think that do that.
I've been about to get mad. Kendrick Lamar.
He does. What?
I didn't hear. Did he say anything?
But he made an album, didn't he? He made a whole. He been making music on that situation.
Nah. Listen, everything does not need to be publicized for a person's donation. Let me tell you something. When you publicize a donation, that kind of gives away the intent. Why are you doing it to be noticed? Why can't you do it just for the benefit of humanity? You feel me?
Well, we're not talking about
money. So let's not just assume Kendrick Lamar doesn't do anything to help the cause. Let's not do that.
Eben, that's not what I'm saying. The episode is
not
about
do that.
Told you he was about to get mad. Yo, the episode is about systemic racism. So it's not about him doing something quietly or doing something loudly. There's a lot of people that's out on the front line right now because of what happened, and we need somebody's voice to help reach it. And Kendrick Lamar has millions of followers, but you know what? Forget the followers for a minute.
Bro.
Kendrick Lamar knows a lot of people in the business that's higher up that can actually make change, And when somebody says something like Donald Trump says something wild or anything, it don't have to be for a photo op or for it to be trending. It's to know like my favorite artist done did something and I feel good about it. Is I should be able to rally behind it.
Your favorite artists
Let's
don't do anything either.
let's talk
Fuck
He
about
about it.
posted
how
he posted Breonna Taylor though.
Kendrick Lamar had a whole entire album talking about the basically the
We
the
gonna be
blind
all
black
right. I know, bro.
bro, pimp a
The Pimp a
butterfly,
Butterfly, yeah, I
bro.
heard that.
Bro.
I
So
heard
what
that
do you
album.
mean? He had a whole project based on that, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Stop! He trying to get me. He trying to get me.
This dude Emmett always doing that.
You know what he doing?
Kendrick Lamar need to speak up. Staying
What's J.
silent.
Cole doing?
Yo, J. Cole
what's the
out.
breakdown?
Yo, J.
Exactly,
Cole.
out there.
Yo, J. Cole. Yo,
Yeah,
He
what
an
Drake doing?
influencer.
What Drake
Influencer, feel me?
many police just posted something that they said they're gonna defund the police, take away the police, and have something that's community led. You know what I mean? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. But
Yeah.
is that
And
like the
to have that is just crazy. But J. Cole retweeted that. Come on.
He
J. Cole
barely
retweeted
Twitter.
that.
he blamed me on Twitter?
Barely.
Like,
So we tied in music, which is good. Music.
Yeah,
has,
go ahead and talk, because for some reason I can't even hear.
Oh,
What do you
man.
say?
All right, there we go. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't hear any of you guys for like 20 seconds.
All I was saying was I said we conquered the topic kind of pretty much that dealt with the music industry and how it attacks systemic racism.
Not even.
Now,
so
I
talk,
was
Get
Evan.
more deep. I get more deep into that.
I was trolling you a bit, but it would be nice if Kendrick was right there. You know what I mean? He spoke up. He probably did something outrageous. You know what I mean? Just like I don't know. You see how Jay-Z made a statement for Rock Nation.
Jay-Z has always been in the the reforms and things like that, though.
So has Kendrick, though. Come on.
What? Who did Kendrick help with paying for lawyers and all that? Get out.
And
Like,
no, see, you going off tangent. We're not saying paying for
See?
lawyers and stuff. I'm talking about being in the. You just said he wrote a whole album for.
yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, we on the same track. That's what I'm saying. You trying to argue with me, and I'm saying what you were saying. You said something about Jay-Z that was also true about Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has always something like Kanye West. Kanye West has always stood up for black people too, until something changed. I don't know what changed, and then all of a sudden he switched. Like he was for us. I was really glad to see him marching with us. Like that really meant a lot. And that was. I'm not saying that he fully. Like it wasn't a photo op, or I'm not saying it wasn't, but you know what? Being around that environment for Kanye West for himself is a start. You're going to back around that environment, and then there's something called collective identity, which means I'll give you an example. If you hang around with people that want to be lawyers, you hang around them, and they're your roommates for 6 months straight. You eventually get the environment of being around other lawyers, and you might, you know what? I might want to be a lawyer, or everybody's getting tattoos around you. I might want to get a tattoo. I think it was very well that Kanye West did that. Especially with him supporting Donald Trump and whatnot. But it would be so blessed for Donald Trump to be out there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yo, you heard what happened in Washington, D.C.? They got a whole avenue called Black Lives Matter now.
Yeah.
It's like
What do
really
you think about that?
huge. That's dope.
I just now realized that. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that.
And you know that mayor is chocolate,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know that's the chocolate city.
yeah.
That's
That's
considered the
crazy.
chocolate city. White House, though, DC is a majority black population city. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I
That's
did.
pretty
It's
cool. I did not know that.
70% black, 70% black people. Even the mayor is black. It's the most black majority city in the whole of America, and that's where Donald Trump lived.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
So not only did he make that, she made that avenue Black Lives Matter Avenue. Ooh, that pissed the president off. Pissed him off. And I like to see it. I love to see it. Now I want to go to the White House so I can just take a picture there. I really
Look,
want to.
me too. That's kind of cool.
But isn't the parliament like the White House?
Boy, turn your video on. We ain't talking to no. What are you talking
Julius
about?
iPhone.
Nah, I'm messing with you. Nah, but what you say?
Isn't the parliament like the White House?
That's a great question. It's almost like the White House. I'm not sure if Trudeau actually lives there. I don't know if they have an actual residence, but you know me, I'm still an immigrant. What do I know? I know that respecting hip hop and hype man's in here, they can probably answer that question better. But it's like the White House. You know, Ottawa is the capital, and that's the most government building. But you can go in there. It's open to the public. It's not like the White House where it's just closed off. We've been there. We could have went in if you wanted to. I think it cost some money or whatnot, but
I didn't. Yeah, we didn't get to go in. That's something that I wanted to see.
We went somewhere else instead.
nah, you talking about something different, Tabo. Don't go there.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that's another story for another podcast.
Another day.
That was crazy. But far as music goes, I don't even know what to believe anymore. Far as who's doing what for what. Who are you guys listening to? Far as even during this time of like racism, or as far as the pandemic goes, who do you guys are listening to just to uplift you?
Fabio, J.I. A lot of New York City rappers, to be honest.
Oh, Fabio. Okay, did you start
Hey,
listening to him
hey,
after
hey.
Drake?
Yeah, I have, of course. Of course I listen to that. With Sleepy Hollow. I've been listening to a lot of Sleepy Hollow, Chef G too. A lot of just New York rappers. I don't know why.
New York is on
In
the
terms of
come up.
hip hop, in
Very
terms of
nice.
hip hop, I'm listening to a lot of New York City rappers.
What about you guys?
You go, Ib.
Why I gotta go?
Because you the music guy.
He already went. Actually,
there's a good album by T.I. It's called
that's our house.
Somewhere Else. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been listening to that. Like,
Yes.
that is
That's
really
our
some
house.
heat. Also, like, I think for the community as a whole, I think we gotta go back to like our roots, like in hip hop, and listen to real logical, like
Conscious.
music, because nowadays the music that's popularized, you feel me? It's about fornication, having sex with someone you're not even married with, or having a
Talk
relation with.
about it, bro. Oh
You
my
feel me?
goodness. Yes.
You got a lot of drugs, like things that alters your consciousness as being promoted. You feel me? You got a lot of guns that they
Violence.
talk about. You feel me? And violence. Like, I think for a community as a whole, like with those type of things, you can get brainwashed. You feel me? Always listening to that, thinking that whatever you get brainwashed becomes your reality. You feel me? So
Bro,
like,
that's crazy.
you feel me? You gotta
They've been going hard. They've been going
you
hard.
gotta have
They've
balance.
been go hard.
You need the organ music out here. Be like, you gotta keep
You feel
going.
me? So,
Yep.
so I would say listen to J. Cole, listen to Kendrick, you feel me? But be balanced. You gotta understand that like this is just how they're expressing their feelings at the time. Don't live by the emotion that the music gives off. You feel me? That'll keep you locked in. That's it. Keep you locked in.
Wait, Julius, before you go, Evan, I like what you just said, bro. I think next podcast we should just go like dissect an album, like all four of us listen to some few tracks,
Okay.
and
I'm down.
like it could be anybody, anything. We'll talk about that. That's crazy. Julius, who you listening to, man? Get to help you check out a bit.
I would say G Herbo, Raw Wave,
Ooh,
and surprisingly Polo G.
wow. Are they in Chicago? Is that Chicago?
That is,
I don't know about Raw
that is
Wave.
all Chicago, bro.
Nah,
Is
Rod
Raw Wave?
Wave's from Florida.
Okay.
That's really
Yeah,
Chicago.
Raw Wave. And in the beginning of the year, it was Roddy Rich.
Roddy Rich.
I was
Yeah,
on there
he was-
heavy.
Man, he had the #1 song of the year.
High fashion, like Goya.
Yeah, so we're not gonna be here too long, but last thing I do want to talk about, go back to Tabo. There was a video circulating around on the internet and went viral that 3 or 4 black kids beat up this Korean guy.
When was this? I mean, I think I seen a video, but do you know where this was at?
It's on Warstar. I don't know
Okay,
necessarily
okay.
where, but Eben, you had a conversation today with someone on the internet. Can you explain it?
Yeah. So basically, there's a lot of comments underneath the video. You know, some people who agree like me, like, you know, these people, the certain 4 individuals should be held accountable for them actions. But then there's a guy that I was communicating with under the comments who was just like, why should Black Lives Matter when they're doing this to our people, this and that. So, and I just informed him like, yo, like every race has its bad apples, you feel me? And to live in a society where you want it to be more peaceful for the ones that come after you and live in unison, you know, you can't say that. You can't generalize everything. So,
That's facts. I'm not laughing at you, Julius. This dude. I mean, I'm not laughing at you, Edmund. This dude driving.
Driving now.
He going to the plug.
He's to go to the plug. Yeah, I want to add on to what Ibn just said.
Right.
Like I said, I feel like a lot of it is because of how toxic the media is. Like, you know, World Star posting a video like that at such a time right now is like, you know, you're doing it to get views and to get money. You know what I'm saying?
Warstar sucks.
Yeah. Well, not even just World Star, bro. It's the media in total. Like, you know, from Facebook, right? Because everybody
Right.
get their media nowadays from that,
yeah,
right?
word.
To like
Media in
CNN,
general.
Fox, all that shit, bro. And I feel like what they're doing, what they're posting in videos and shit like this is like controversial, especially with what World Star did. Because it's like what like you're attacking, like you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing it for the money, like selfish reason, money, monetary value. But what you're doing is you're attacking an audience. You know, the Asian community being prejudiced on the Black community. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you're not educated enough, you will fall into that. Like you know, I see this video of these 4 Black kids jumping an Asian kid. It's like, okay, I'm gonna look at him differently. But if you're more educated and less ignorant, not everybody's like that, right? Obviously,
Right.
because you still know you don't want, like I said, what Eben said earlier, like you just don't want to generalize things. And I think
Right.
that's what we should, like the more educated you are, the more you realize that.
I agree, bro. And you know, my in-laws, my mother and father, were also very prejudiced when I first started dating their daughter. Um, it was really hard. It was really hard.
Did you get through
But
that?
I don't know how I got through that. You know, I was living with them literally for the first 8 months coming into Canada.
I got a question,
So
bro.
yeah,
How did she like live? Did you talk? Did you ever talk to your wife on how like she kind of battled it, like especially in the beginning
it
of the
was it
relationship?
was hard for her because she was in the middle. Like it was, I'm her husband, that's her father. What is she supposed to say? You know, especially the first 8 months living in her house. I couldn't work. We didn't have our own crib. It was just like I was like imposing on whatever they had going on. Almost that's how I felt like. So I would like literally lock myself in the room most of the day, just doing things to find ways to make money.
Mm,
But how I dealt with it was, you know, I literally stayed true to myself. I never disrespected them ever, even if
even
they
though they
did
disrespected you.
even though if they did disrespect me, you know,
Wow.
because that's still my wife's parents, and just for that, I'm grateful. And you know, I'm not out here, you know, wild either. You know, I don't got tattoos. I don't have any earrings. You know, I'm not out here just wild. You know, I'm a hard worker. I take care of me and mine. They can't really say nothing bad about me.
You think your relationship's better now?
Yeah, it's a lot
That's all
better.
that time.
It's a lot better. Um, I think when I the time it started getting better was when I asked my father-in-law for his blessing because I never really asked for his blessing when me and Deli got married. We just went to City Hall in New York and just got it done.
Mm.
So I ended up buying a whole new ring and proposed to her all over again. It was at her parents' house. And before I even did, I just asked her father. He went outside for a smoke. I said, I apologize for the beginning of what I did. I really love your daughter, and I want to have a wedding, and I want you to walk her down the aisle. I showed him the ring, and I said, I really would love your blessing. He kind of lit up.
That's
He
good.
really appreciated that. And then after he said yes, when he came back from his smoke, he already knew I was gonna propose. So it was like me and his thing, like he already like it was our thing. So I got down on one knee. I got the video. Maybe I post it, and I had the whole speech again. I apologize. And I proposed to wifey. I got on one knee and I was like, "Would you marry me?" So now we have the wedding coming up, and we're gonna do it official. We're gonna do it right. And I think ever since then he appreciated that. And I worked my level with this cleaning business. He has his own cleaning business, but I kind of went corporate. Started as a cleaner, then I started as a supervisor, and started off as a building manager. For these big $1 million corporations here in Ottawa, and I got my own house. I don't have to ask him for money. I got my own
Mhm.
car. I pay for my own. So I'm on salary. I'm not paid hourly. I'm paid by the year.
Big
Level up.
baller. Big baller.
Appreciate that. And I came here with nothing, and I made something out of it. And I think that alone, he comes over, drinks beer, he says hi, we have conversations. He even sticks up for me. We be one time we was at a Korean wedding, and one of the brothers of the bride, my sister-in-law's brother-in-law's brother, he was like, "Oh, he doesn't have to. He don't. I don't want him to steal." And my father was like, "What do you mean? I lived with him for almost 1 year. He never stole from me. How dare you say that?" And I really appreciated that because they
That's
was
dope.
talking in Korean. I didn't even know what was going on. My wife ended up telling me when we was in the car.
Okay.
Like, so that was
Wow.
dope. That was really
Wow.
dope. So
That's
like
nice.
we came a long way. He did really say some hurtful things in the beginning, like to my wife, like when you gonna, divorce him or when you gonna leave him. And she was like 6 months
Wow.
pregnant at that time. But he
We
Wow.
was
used to have a topic about like interracial or well, we had this discussion before about relationships, but like
Facts.
with race, it different either with the same race or with different race. That'll be a topic too.
yeah, I agree,
I feel
bro.
like there's a whole different topic, bro. We could do a whole different podcast on that too. Like interracial
Yeah, a
dating,
different
bro.
episode. That's what I mean.
That's huge, bro.
Yeah, we
Is it
could.
'Cause I got
huge?
a lot. Yes, bro. I got a lot on my chest on that. And I feel like Julius do
Ooh.
too. You know what I'm saying?
Julius don't want to talk about his love life on here.
Oh, okay, okay. My
I
bad,
don't
my bad.
mind. No. Chill, chill, chill. I don't mind. I'm just
He
saying
chat,
that
he minds.
there's certain things I leave out.
Chat, nah,
I
nah,
mean, that's
nah,
okay.
nah, no, it's not. We want answers. We want answers.
Empty the clip.
Julie, Evan, he's getting married. He has a fiance.
Yeah.
And is that and excuse me for being ignorant. I'm about to ask you a question. Is it a same race marriage or is it interracial marriage?
So, I mean, it could be kind of both. You feel me? Because like
He's
her
mixed.
her culture is different, but she's mixed, so she's black and white. So like, but like her culture is different from mine. Like her mom is Italian, and that's who like she goes with. So like, you feel me?
uh, she speak Italian.
Nah. But
That'll
you
be
know,
fire. You married, and you gotta have kids one day. Like my daughter's just trying to learn the Korean language. Like I tell my daughter, don't talk back to your mom in English. It better be in Korean. So she
That's
goes,
dope.
May Momo, all day. So Lil Aiko in the chat box said, same race, love low key, be kind of difficult, but I would love an episode like that. So that's what the people want.
Gotta do one next week now. Gotta
No,
do
we
one. Bro,
definitely
I got
would.
my mind on that topic too, bro.
Yeah, you already know. You
I
already
know
know how
Julius
that
do
goes.
too.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Hey, if Julius come through, he got to be candid. Like we shouldn't never say names.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I
Of
mean? You don't
course.
want to be that kind of personal or descriptive, but we should be at least be candid because we might be helping someone out in their own situation.
It was Leticia, Carissa.
Yo, yo, that was funny. Okay, so next episode, that's what it's gonna be about. Then, what's the topic?
Interracial,
Interracial love.
dating,
Because
couples,
you know,
all
I
that
don't want
stuff.
to say much.
Marriage.
Sometimes I
Just
think about.
relationship.
Sometimes I think about like, um, what if I'm, sometimes I feel like certain black people in the black community look at me different because I don't have a black wife, and sometimes I feel that anxiety, when I go out in public or whatnot, even not just just sometimes just in within, especially around these times. But it's also cool because I get to educate and inform, because like you said, Tabo, like Daily be saying some wild shit sometimes. I'll be like, yo, you can't be saying that. Don't ever say that again. What's wrong with you? So it be like that. As far as if I was with someone who's from the same identity as me, they would already know those things, and I wouldn't have to educate. We'll be
But
already there.
I do feel like in a way we are kind of like doing a world of or the whole world a favor by like
Mm,
what I'm saying, by getting to know each other culture and like educating people on or each other on that. It's
right.
kind of generic as fuck, but yeah. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
you hit
Because
you hit it down the coffin. Because like you said, like even like Daly's some relatives were really prejudiced as well. Like some of her uncles and aunts. But after Daly had the baby, then had the second baby, they come around a little bit more. And then
yeah, see, they're more
so
open-minded. You know what I'm saying?
they're more
Like
open minded. Exactly.
yeah. It's like especially like my parents like especially Jules. Like Jules could walk into my crib and my parents don't even bat an eye, bro. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah, like he's just that close with like our family. And so, but it takes time. You know what I'm saying? It just takes
Yeah.
time. It takes like trust and shit like that.
I mean,
You
I
know,
remember.
the goal. What'd you say?
No, I was just gonna say I remember those days we used to go to Tabo House to play volleyball. Remember those?
Oh yeah, yeah, you was
Oh
there.
yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
too.
That
That's
was
fun.
lit. What you gonna say, Ibn?
No, just to tie it back into like systemic racism, like you gotta know like that shit like went on for like years. Like
Years.
there's countless principles and like foundations to it. Like you feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
not with just the media, just like the certain ideology where like black is like the color black is like associated with like bad things. Besides
Facts.
besides sleep, you feel me? Like but it's associated with bad things. And when like white wearing a white dress is like royalty or you're rich or it's like clean, you feel me? I think it's really like systematic racism is really like a hard thing to break, but when we keep moving forward and things like that, that's when things will get better. And I feel like we're in a
Yeah, look,
good position and we're moving forward, you feel me?
I 100% agree, Evan, because like especially with all this like bad news coming around, right? With the like the George Floyd incident and like the police brutality incident. I feel like even though it's bad, obviously, but what we coming to realize as a country and as a whole is that this is bad itself. And because we know that it's bad, we can like learn from it, you know what I'm saying? Like we know that what we have isn't the, the best or isn't even good at all. So we can just learn from that. And a lot of people are more educated on that now, especially with like you could just tell, bro, every state in the world and then in the country protested. And that says something. Like this is the biggest civil movement since um the civil what was it? The 60s, what was it called?
civil rights movement. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the biggest movement since then, bro. And that says something. Like more people are educated, more people know about this topic, the systemic racism and shit.
And furthermore, Tabo, a lot of it is being filmed as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That is true.
I want to add something too. Like, what would hurt a country more? War within, or war from an outside place? You feel me? Like,
Okay.
as America being a diverse nation, like we all need to come together. Like, we all fight and work for the same flag. Like, you feel me? Like, all that shit should just go out the window. But
I feel like we are gonna get better though. I do. Yeah. I think we are heading towards the right way. It's gonna take a while, but we are.
I think it's worse coming from an outside source, because usually when you're fighting within, you're trying to excel, you're trying to exceed, you're trying to advance, and someone's trying to hold you back. Whereas an outside source, they don't really care about you trying to advance. They just trying to wipe you out. So, just to answer your question.
I mean, I respect that. You feel me?
What are you trying to say though? What are you saying? I don't know your angle.
Like, all right, think about it. Like, if we had the same ideology, everybody had the same ideology, and there was no racism, we'd be flourishing even more than we are today.
I agree.
And you feel me? And like, with this, like, we're just dividing our country even more. You feel me? Like, and then this is when the protesting comes in. Like, we're hurting our own economy. You feel me? Like, why would you want to do that? Like, why would you want to hurt your own people? Like, you feel me? Like, we're like, United States is a business, it's a corporation. Why would you do that? You feel me? Like,
but here's the thing. Oh, okay, I'm gonna add on to that, and I want to answer your question a little bit. But I think this is the beauty of America. I feel like we have a lot of freedom that we don't take, that we sometimes take for granted, right? And let me explain. I'm saying that like the protests, all that stuff, like we have the right. A lot of countries don't have the right to protest or free speech or free media, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like free press. But this country we do, and that's why America, whether we know it or not, bro, it is one of the greatest like countries economically because of all the changes we made in the past. So I feel like this change we are going through now is gonna hurt us, yeah, economically, but I think it's gonna make us better in the future. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little step back, but I feel like we're gonna flourish in the long run.
You see that Minneapolis, they really gonna defund the police and have a community led. I don't even know what to call it. Community led enforcement.
Yeah.
I think that's fire.
It's gonna be weird though.
It's gonna be
weird.
It's
gonna be different. It's gonna be different.
I hope it's organized. You feel me? Like, they gotta, like, who's that getting funded by? Like, does the state still fund that? Like, do they have the same protections? You feel me? Like, I don't know. It's really tough.
I think the community. I think the community thing could be a good idea because I don't know the statistics, but a lot of the police officers are like people that aren't even that's from the suburbs, right? And they go into a community or an area that they're not even familiar with. And I feel like that itself can be toxic, right? So if you get like a community thing going on, I feel like these people are from the community. I feel like that could be a little more beneficial because it'll be more understanding.
Yeah,
I agree.
And there's eyes everywhere in the community.
Well, this is concluding Purple Haze at Night. Today we went over systemic racism and how we can recognize it and how we can try to fix it among ourselves and among our circle group. I want everyone to remember that we're all in this together. You know, some of you may not understand, but guess what? United, we will stand. Purple Haze Nation, we love everybody. Eben, Taboya, got any shout outs?
Just my open mic nights, I've made big moves on that. So it's gonna come up soon. So you guys will see a graphic sooner or later, probably like 2 weeks, I'd say.
Shout out everybody that's watching. Stay tuned. We got more information coming out. We have more conversations, you know, and we we love your guys' feedback. We love hearing new things. Just comment and subscribe.
Facts.
Fact.
And remember, we are kings. Let go.